All right, happy weekend to you. Welcome back again. So I am here again to share something very important from the office of DPM. Ngozi Orabueze handle on X. She made a public, a post, and in that post, it has to do with what Finland used to do, what Finland founding fathers said about Biafrans. If you understand Finnish language, I think this video you enjoy it the most. But to some of us that don't understand English language, Finnish language, just follow the title and the context of the message, because I don't understand the Finnish language, but based on the headline, I can understand what a DPM, the message that is passing there. And the recent event of the current Finnish government on Biafrans is also the reason why I felt like, let's talk about it a little bit. Then I will now release the message, the audio message from Finnish government back then in 1968. You remember Nigerian Biafra Civil War started in 1967, and they dragged it to 3 years. That is 1970, thereabout. Many countries were in support of Biafra then. Of course, some supported Nigeria based on personal interest. But we often hear about Finland is a country of law and order that know what human rights is all about, and a country of rule of law, a country that obey law and follow their legal principle and everything. That thing was actually achieved by the founding fathers of Finland, like Finnish people before now. Because the current people in the Finnish government today happen to be maybe students and children those days. They are the one now ruling Finland. So this has changed. We were still hoping that they are still the same Finland that we used to hear about. Finland is a country of this and that and all that and all that. They are no longer that. And everything was exposed under the current regime of Alestov, whom I prefer calling, Alexander Abdulkarim. So because many leaders from the European country today are actually more or less like Muslim, in fact, Imam, not even a Muslim. And Imam I'm talking about is this Iranian version of Islam. Look at what Pope did recently, what he said. As a Catholic, I am ashamed of of that. Not because of any other thing, but because I'm no longer a child that I cannot know when somebody is lying to me and deceiving me. How can you say, I'm coming so you understand what I'm talking about? How can you be a leader of a church like Catholic, that everybody knows that when it comes to Christendom, Catholic is number one. Number one, whether you like it or not, they're number one. In terms of what it takes to, if without Catholic, Christianity wouldn't have the way it is today. That it doesn't matter how prophetic you claim you are. Without Catholic, you may not have the platform to do that. So all the churches are actually under Catholic, because they are the one, when it comes to political aspect of it in the global stage, they are the one that play that for you. So because I've seen some people saying, how can Pope, oh, thank God I'm not a Christian. Even Mike Arnold said it in one of his posts. I saw it and I laugh off, because you don't understand. No matter your denomination, the politics they play, that Pope, what he did or what he engaged himself into, will affect you in that your churches. So each time people talk about Catholic and Pope activities, some Pentecostal people are laughing. When I see that, I feel like you are just like one Nigerianist. People who don't understand the problem and mocking their savior. If the Pope make a very terrible decision, it's going to affect you in one way or another, because Catholic is the head. Because when it comes to political aspects, financial aspect of it, population, they're the one holding it. Without them, without Catholic, there won't be anything Christianity today. Even if you're gonna have it, it will be in a very low, just very tiny stage to compare what it is today. Now, seeing somebody like the Pope making some unhealthy comment like that is questionable. Like me, last time I enjoy any Pope or what Pope says, and the Pope that commands respect and all that, maybe I was still very young during the time of Pope John Paul. I may not know the politics then, but I still hold him as number one. To compare Benedict, to compare Francis, and to compare Leonard. So the one that when this Pope emerged, I was like, okay, let's see a new era. Afro is an Americana that understand the template and what is going on in what stage and all that. Remember, Francis was also having issue with Trump in his first regime. Now Leonard again, meaning that these guys have, it seems like they have one platform, one agreement set for them to come and just pretend that you are the one making it, just to be reading it out and use it to rule the world. No matter how you want to build this global peace to make Islam to build together with you, you cannot change their book. You have to start this your unification of one religion and everything. You have to start it by changing the book, which is called Quran. But you can't do that, because if you do, you are calling for war. No, if you like dine and wine and pretend together with them, you end up getting into a very big trap. That's how can Pope be, how can he be making this kind of comment that he made these days? Why Christians are being massacred every corner of Nigeria. I'm using Nigeria because according to Global War Index or whatever they call that, Nigeria Christians, in fact, in Nigeria, number of people that are buying in Nigeria, okay, because of faith, because of religion, the number of people that buy in Nigeria, are to number that of other people buying globally. Like if you can't people buy because of religion and everything, global, like the whole world, the people that buy in Nigeria alone are to number that number of the other people buy, from different parts of the world. That is how bad it is. And the Pope is here to make a comment. Ordinarily, he's supposed to visit Nigeria. He's supposed to visit now because people are being buyed. I'm not saying Catholics are being buyed. I'm talking about Christians, because you are the father. That is what they made us to believe. And when you talk about politics, he is. That does not mean that he owns your church, or that other Pentecostal church, other Christians have to go and pay him money or lobby him. No, because faith is faith. It doesn't matter where you come from, Anglican, Methodist, what name it. As long as we are for Jesus Christ crucified, we are in one umbrella. Then denomination is that one comes after. But as long as we are here in this surface of earth, you need to focus on this kind of thing. Do what you're supposed to do as Pope. But look at him now, condemning Trump and condemning other people. I used to feel so angry before when I heard it, during the time of Benedict and Francis, when they made this kind of comment, like when they were stylishly promoting, woke it in a woke, and all, you know what I'm talking about. Woke in why, woke in, woke beyond, all that nonsense. These are something that is very strange and backward and very, very deadly. How can I now invest my trust in a Pope than a man like Donald Trump, whom I know that even forced now to do something about the plight of Christians? That is what I'm talking about. And that brings us to this issue of Finland. The current leaders in Finland today, they don't care. Despite what their forefathers said about Biafra and the role they played. So forming an alliance with a corrupt country a country that is known for corruption from the time immemorial, from the beginning of the world. Britain is one of the institution of one of the demonic institution. Not the British people as a people, the government, the institution, that government of Britain they have not done some. You cannot talk about any evil in this world without mentioning their name. When you talk about Holocaust, or when you talk about this what is going on in Palestine, Israel history, and why Israel and all these things, why the conquest of the falling of those empires, Britain also contributed. You know that. When you talk about American, fighting for their independence, they're there. All these major issues, they're always there, and the history is not in their favor. The recent vote that they casted in the UN about slavery, all the countries in Europe unanimously refused to attend to vote yes or no. The people that championed that, Britain also is involved. Why I'm saying Britain is because this current president today of Finland cannot do anything without Britain. Can't do anything without Britain. They are the one pushing all this nonsense going on today. You see that Britain have not condemned or mentioned anything about Christian genocide. So Finnish government. But the reason why the Finnish government own is very, very irritating and bad is that our own people are the one that they actually help them to accept the decision of Britain and other European countries that see Africa as farmland, where they can go and farm and harvest anything. In fact, they don't even farm, they just go and pluck the fruit and start eating. The one yawon, Uchechikan, all the DOS, IPOB, DSS and IPOB. And of course, with the Dagono. These are people that are visible. You never know other people that contributed, right? So Finland have made that decision. And that decision is why things is the way it is today. But the question is, has it stopped Fulani attempting to invade our land? No. Have they done anything about it? No. Don't worry, we are coming live, in a few minutes from now. I don't know when you're going to watch the video. Maybe before you are watching it, we may be already live, and because we are going to dwell more on that. Now, I want to present to you this video or post from DPM. From there, we can now go there and do other things that we are here to do. So please pay close attention to this and let me know what you think about it. This is from DPM. She made this publication, as you can see it here. So she said, press release. Let me zoom it a little bit more. Okay. Press release, Finland founding fathers praise Biafra. While we wait the Finnish authorities to take the right and honorable course of action, namely the immediate release of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, from his unlawful detention, we also call on them to provide him with 24-hour security in light of credible threat to, let me see if there's another thing attached. Okay, yeah, there's so many other things here. I may not read everything because of time. We have spent more time to, trying to throw more light on this issue, and I have to make sure that I manage my time. Okay. 24-hour security in light of credible threat to his life from the Nigerian, regime. Furthermore, because they had just released a list of people that they consider as most wanted terrorists and all that, which that they have been looking for a way to buy him. All appropriate reminds must be fully applied to address the shameful and deeply concerning conduct of certain Finnish authorities in this matter. At this critical moment, the government of the United States of Biafra finds it necessary to remind the Finnish authorities of warnings and observation made by a Finnish official whom personally witnessed the genocide against Biafra following the invasion of our territory by Nigerian regime, an event during which millions of Biafran were massacred. These remarks were made decades ago, long before some members of the Finnish long before some members of the present Finnish leadership, include current President Alex Stubb, has assumed public office or were even born. Below are excerpts from an interview published by Yeli. This is Yeli Lewis, titled "Martial Law in Biafra, September 1968." Now, I'm going to edit here to play this video like I told you. The Finnish journalists then, they did a very powerful, good job. And that part of the interview is...
Valtiosta eronneen Biafran takaisin palauttamiseksi käyty sota on nyt raivunut 14 kuukautta ja Biafran alue on pienentynyt kolmannekseensa. Liittovaltion joukot ovat katkaisseet kaikki maa- ja meriyhteydet ulkomaailmaan ja ainoa tie ulos Biafrasta kulkee lentokentän kautta. Biafran nykyisin 11-miljoonainen kansa taistelee pienellä muutaman 10 000 miehen armeijallaan monta kertaa suurempaa Nigerian liittovaltion armeijaa vastaan, joka armeija kuitenkaan sekään ei ole eurooppalaisen mittapuun mukaan suuri. Sota käydään melkein yksinomaan teitä pitkin ja biafralaiset ovat joutuneet perääntymään kuukausi kuukaudelta, kilometri kilometriltä, hitaasti, mutta varmasti. Suurimmat taistelut käydään tällä hetkellä eteläisellä rintamalohkolla ja vastakkain armeijoiden komentajina ovat siellä raakuudestaan kuuluisa kenraali Adekundle Nigerian puolella ja saksalaissyntyinen ammattisotilas kenraali Rudolf Steiner biafralaisten puolella. Rudolf Steiner on 38-vuotias Ranskan muukalaislegioonan entinen kersantti, joka tuli Biafraan viime joulukuussa ja nimitettiin nykyiseen asemaansa elokuussa. Viime torstaina hän kuvasi Abassa sotilaallista tilannetta omalla lohkollaan seuraavaan tapaan.
There's no need to bore you with this because we don't understand Finnish language. So if you do understand it, please go to DPM X handle. You see it there, or you go to United States of Biafra X handle. And let me get to you the few name of that handle, USB government. Yeah, at USB government, one word. On X, you will have this access to this video, or you go to DPM X handle, okay, and you have access to it. You can listen to that, as long as you want. It's about 16 minutes plus video, okay. So, and they told you they just extracted from the full interview, so it's not actually the full, but the most important part of it, I believe, is what they extracted and made that publication. This is just to remind the current Finnish government that they're actually, working against their own father. They're working against their own father, and they're working against humanity. People can wake up and claim anything they want to claim based on what they're benefiting from the system. They can lie, they can claim. Human beings are like that. You cannot actually trust anybody, can you? Because anybody can wake up and lie or claim what he or she is not, pretend to be your savior when they are not. But it's so sad that people who actually, who actually are in a part of receiving side of this shenanigan are actually enabling those that are actually coming after their own life just to gain what I don't know. It is heartbreaking to see that. It is heartbreaking. But who am I to even, condemn or to stop them? I can only condemn, yeah, but I cannot stop them because I don't have what it takes. Please let me know what you think about it and like the video, share it on any platform of your choice. And I want you to also focus on our main platform because we will start live stream, very, very soon there. God bless you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye for now. Happy weekend.